think not even just that, it's whole antics all fight week. Why go around headbatting 12-year-olds and people like that? I don't know why you're doing that.
Danny Gafone for Pro Boxing Fans in Bolton, joined by, for the first time in a minute, Shane Watson. Shane, good to see you. What's the crack?
Yeah, all good, man. Same old. Back in Bolton. Had many nights here, actually. And we used to look after Lisa Whiteside back in the day. She used to fight here a fair bit. So, yeah. Was it just Lisa Whiteside already? I felt like, yeah, maybe it was just Lisa Whiteside. All W's as well. So, get another one on Friday night and it's a clean sweep. But no, it's good. Nice venue. It's called the Tough Sheet Arena now. It's not got the same feel as the Macron or the Reebok back in the day. I remember when I was a kid when you had JJ Okocha on that here. It was pretty cool. But we'll go with the Tough Sheet Arena. Not really sure what that is, but yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to Friday night, man. So yeah, excited to be a good card as well for, a free-to-air show. Liam Cameron, Lyndon Arthur is going to surprise a few people, I think. Liam Cameron's in some very good form. He's backing himself. That guy has been through his hardest fights in his life before he even came to the boxing ring. He looks incredible, and I really do hope that Liam Cameron pulls it off on Friday night, just because, nothing against it, I really like Lyndon as well, but where I was going around the Sheffield gym back in the day and stuff, I saw where Liam Cameron kind of came from to back to where he is today, so it'd be an amazing story. And he doesn't get enough news coverage, actually, because that is a proper amazing story after what he went through. When you see what some people get away with these days, to come back and be fighting and headlining in a title fight on Channel 5 against, at one point, one of the best light heavyweights in the division. And now Lyndon Arthur's got a bit to prove to get back there, but it's a great fight. It's a great step up for Liam Cameron as well.
The man you're here, hoping to continue that streak of dubs. Khalil Majid, spoke to Khalil earlier. A bit of a sticky period for him, promotionally and management-wise, and not go into all that, but really impressive performance last time out against Tom Farrell. He must be chomping at the bit to get some momentum going.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, it's a shame because that was a real momentum growing fight for him. Tom Farrell, a respectable name in British boxing, has been around. And Khalil dealt with him fairly well and obviously stopped him, so that's always a good performance. Got a few rounds in as well, which is always helpful. And then now he's up against another test. Well, I think it's a bit of a step up from Tom Farrell. Not a massive step up from him, but a bit of a step up. 17-3, came in, stopped. I think he just beat Levi Casonia on a show some time ago. Yeah, so the guy's going to come here, give it a good go. Going to test Khalil for sure, but I back Khalil's ability. I know how good he is. You don't have a man like Buddy McGirt in your corner unless you're a very good fighter. So yeah, get a nice win there, and then we'll move on to something bigger and better after that.
What's the plan going forward? Obviously, as you say, it's no mug, the fella he's in there with on Friday night. You'll be expecting him to come through. Wasserman will be expecting him to come through. Have you had any talks with Calla and Nissa about what the plan over the next 12 to 18 months might look like for Khalil? Yeah,
well, as far as the fight afterwards, yeah. I mean, I don't want to say too much because I know like Khalil really likes to focus on what he's got in front of him, and he needs to, because if he doesn't, it could be a potential banana skin. So you don't want to. That's my job to look at the fights after that and get that stuff ready, which is what I'm doing. But yeah, listen, there's no secret that we want a title fight next. Khalil's done his apprenticeship in the game now. He's had his build-up fights. He's got the rounds in, and now he needs to be in the sterner test. He's getting to that stage of his career now, and listen, he's in a great weight division for it. 140-pound division is one of the best in the world right now, if not the best in the world. So it's a great division to be a part of, and Khalil wants a piece of that. Some of the names that we were chasing before this, we couldn't quite materialise, but some of the biggest names in the division, domestically anyway. So we want to be up in that mix, and if we can get some kind of international title, put ourselves in a ranking and give ourselves a bit more value for these guys, then so be it. Then that would be the plan moving forward, hopefully. It's not agreed yet, but that's understanding from what I want from my point of view.
100%. Shane, while I've got you, I want to ask you about a man you know very well, Joyce, fighting Derek Chisora next month. It's a fight that's received a mixed reception online, maybe not from people looking at Joe, but more from the perspective of should Derek Chisora really be boxing at this stage. What was your reaction when you first heard about the fight? I'm sure you maybe got wind of it slightly before the rest of us. What do you make of it?
Well, I'm pleased for Joe, because I think Joe could do with another, I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but the Cash Alley performance, he needed another little bit more of a stepping stone, in my opinion, before he goes into a bigger fight. And I think Derek is that fight for Joe. Derek's respectable. He's always been tough, resilient, gives British boxing great nights, well experienced. So that is kind of what Joe needs, and Joe needs to be dealing with him really well to then push on to the Coleys, maybe Parker rematch, whatever opportunity does come his way. but I think it's a very good decision from SJAM and from Queensbury to put him in with Chisora. Listen, fans can have their opinion on what they want. He's still passing the medicals and he's still fit to fight, and Derek still wants to fight. Then ultimately that's what it's down to. If he wasn't well enough to fight, he wouldn't be allowed to fight by the board anyway. So quite clearly he's well and fit enough to fight. Mate, is it the best Derek Chisora we've ever seen? No, obviously it's not. But I mean, we haven't seen the best of Joyce for a few fights now either. So it's probably a good match in that perspective. Like, it'd be different if it was the Joe that knocked out Parker and then they put him in with Derek. Then you'd be like, well, that's just a little bit silly. But at the end of the day, Joe came off 2 back-to-back defeats, beat Cash Ali, and he'll admit that weren't his career best performance. And now he's in there with Derek Chisora, so I don't really see much of an issue with that, really, to be honest. But and it's good to have a nice, decent heavyweight fight in the UK. You know, not many big fights have been happening here. It's a good fight here. You know, it would do well, and it'd be an entertaining fight. Anyway, none of them know how to make a boring fight. They're both going to meet in the middle and have it. So. And they're 2 heavyweights, so it'd be an entertaining fight to watch. I just want to see Joe in the biggest and best fights for the most amount of money and for the best opportunities. And I think beating Derek Chisora in the way that I think he will lead to that.
One of Joe's best performances came against Daniel Dubois, who we're hearing now is going to fight Anthony Joshua. Real resurgence for Daniel since that loss to Joe. Obviously, minor hiccup against Usyk. How do you anticipate a fight between AJ and Dubois going?
I don't mean this in a disrespectful way. I mean, like, Dubois looked like he was almost looking for a way out at one point against Joe Miller. Got a good win against Hrgovic. I have to take my hat off to him. I didn't expect it to go down that way, and I'll admit that right now. But, you know, the way he was taking right hands off Hrgovic in the first 2 rounds, and to be fair to him, he showed some nuts and he got through it and then came out better on the other side. But you can't be doing that against Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua's in good form right now. He believes in himself again. He backs himself. Ben Davison, Lee Wiley and Barry Smith are doing a great job with him, clearly. They've matched the 2 styles of AJ together. So the one that used to be vicious and just look for the knockout, and the one that used to know how to box and set up the knockout. Well, the one that was just here before Ben Davison. And what AJ needed to do was gel that together, and he's done that now. So I think AJ is going to become a little bit of an unstoppable force for the time being. Whether that means he'd beat Usyk, that's another thing. But I think anyone else in the division, barring Joyce, of course, that he can beat them. So yeah, no, I expect AJ to beat Dubois in 4 or 5 rounds and stop him as well.
You touched on Oleksandr Usyk there. We're hearing the rematch with Tyson Fury this December. What does Tyson need to do differently to reverse that result, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think Tyson needs to get rid of his dad from the corner, maybe from the whole fight week. That'd be quite good. It's quite clear that he's there for one reason and one reason only. You know, it's not good for Tyson Fury at the end of the day. You got someone like Sugar Hill in the corner who is a very, very experienced and top-level trainer, and he can't even get a word in because his dad's shouting a complete wrong game plan in the corner. When what Sugar Hill was saying before was working, you know, Fury was getting to Usyk, he'd hurt Usyk, it was quite visible, and it looked like the fight had completely changed tides. And then you put him back in. Then you have John Fury saying a completely different game plan, and then that's what Fury listened to, probably because it's his dad, as what most people would do. And then that gave the fight away and almost got him knocked out as well. So, you know, I just think it's always got to be one voice in the corner. You speak to any top-level trainer. You've got Buddy McGirt here today, like Grant Smith will be here on Friday, like top-level trainers. They will tell you there's only one person that speaks in the corner, and that's the trainer, yeah? And that's got to be their voice. Do you think Grant Smith or Buddy McGirt would even allow that to happen in the first place? It'd be kicking off, it'd be like hands thrown and all sorts. And even like what Peter Fury said on Twitter, I think maybe the next day or a couple of days afterwards, only he speaks in the corner. And if you actually go back some years ago, unfortunately, he's no longer here anymore. Tyson's uncle used to train him, Huey Fury. He actually said, and there was a video where John Fury trying to talk in the corner back then, and Huey tells him straight, like, you're not talking here, like, keep your mouth shut kind of thing. And that's kind of like what it needs to be, and he did listen, to be fair. Maybe you just need someone sterner in the corner, but the problem is with this as well. When you're John Fury, he's outspoken, and he's saying in the corner, oh, he's not in the corner, sorry, in interviews, oh, Sugar Hill shouldn't be training my son, he's not good enough, and all this stuff. Like, you're just breaking a relationship. Certain things have to happen like behind closed doors. It's your son as well. Like, why do you feel the need to say that on an interview for? It makes it look like a shambles. It's one of the best fighters of this generation and one of the best heavyweights in the world. Like, this seems really unprofessional and a little bit silly in my opinion. And I don't know if John Fury realises he's doing it. That's why I don't want to be too harsh, because maybe he's just a passionate father who feels like he knows better than everybody else. But at the end of the day, if he's not appointed as a head trainer, he shouldn't really be making them comments in the corner. And he should know, he's an experienced boxing man in himself, he's been around long enough, he's got 3 sons that have boxed, the other Huey Fury boxed as well, young Fury. I think he stopped after like 6 fights as a pro. You know, but he should be experienced enough to know that, and he does know that. And he chose to make that mistake, and that might have cost his son the chance of being undisputed, because I don't know if that's going to happen in a rematch. Doesn't look like it. So, and he has to live with that. And the facts are the facts. Listen, I can sit here and shy away and not say that, but you asked what my opinion is. I don't want to lie and say that I don't think that had a big turn in the fight. I think it does. I think not even just that, it's how antics all fight week. Why go around headbatting 12-year-olds and people like that? I don't know why you're doing that. Like, fucking just silly. Like, silly. Like, there was a bigger guy that had his head on him before that, and he didn't headbutt him. Saying that, he'd probably turn up on Friday and headbutt me. but you know, I just think the whole behaviour is silly. Like, he comes from a travelling background, respectable background, proper people, proper old school men, yeah, you know. You don't need to go headbutting people. The geezer only shouted at Usyk. He didn't slag him off or say anything nasty to him. They were all shouting it, like they were shouting Fury. And the poor geezer got a little nick on his head. I mean, to be fair, he actually came off worse. So he lost from his own shot. But yeah, I just think it's all unnecessary. It paints bad light on a big fight week. And one of the biggest fight weeks we'll ever see in our lifetime, probably. So yeah, I just think that's obviously an issue there. Maybe he needs to be told to be step aside for a little bit. Just be a father like he is, rather than almost like a raving lunatic. But he does it even with Tommy Fury and stuff, and that's the problem, isn't it? Like, it's almost a John Fury show rather than a Tommy Fury or Tyson Fury show. And I think Tyson Fury's done enough in his life and achieved enough for the attention to be on him and not his dad.
Well, Shane, it had been a little while. We're back with a bang. Good to speak to you again, mate. All the best.
Yeah, top man.
Cheers, mate.